everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making risotto agli asparagi, asparagus risotto. Sarah, you've been asking for this recipe. Here it goes. My husband is thanking you because it's one of his favorite dishes. Spring is here, asparagus are on sale, so it's all good. Let's get started. Simple. I have about a pound of asparagus. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make the vegetable broth, and we're going to be using the stems of the asparagus. Then right here I have extra virgin olive oil, about half a cup of white wine. I have a half a pound of risotto rice. You want to use a starcher Italian rice because it's definitely more appropriate. And I have a half a cup of a chopped onion and Parmigiano Reggiano, about half a cup, but we'll measure that later. But first thing we gotta do, also for the risotto, we're going to be needing a tablespoon of butter, and that's needed at the end per mantecare il risotto. So let's put that on the side. Right here, well, this is 4 cups. We're gonna be needing about 7 cups of water. And I'm going to make the light broth. So I have an onion, some carrots, a red carrot, and some celery. And then I'm going to be using the stem of the asparagus. I washed the asparagus. And what I like to do is just do this. See? Where it breaks, that means that's where it's tender. So just grab the asparagus, snap, and that's it. Okay, again, just towards the end. There it goes. And what you're going to do is the top part, which is the tender part, we're going to be using in the risotto. And the stems, which is the fibrous part, we're going to be using inside the broth. I think I said that already 3 times. Anyway, let's move over to the stove and get the broth started. Okay, the water's almost boiling. Add your vegetables. Here are the stems of the asparagus that I've removed. Now we're going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. You could adjust the salt later. Now, let it come to a boil again. Once it boils, place a lid on it, lower the flame, and let it cook roughly 20 minutes. About 1 inch down, what I'm going to do is just cut off the tips, right? Now, the tips are very delicate and they cook rather quickly, so I'm going to put them on one side. The bottom pieces, again, I'm going to say about 1 inch also, but I'm going to saute these first. The asparagus tips I only add towards the end. So now I'm going to add this. Oh, you smell spring out of as I'm cutting. Okay, so there it goes. I'm going to make them all in small pieces and keep it on the side separate. Medium heat, okay, I'm using a saute pan. I'm going to add the extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to say about 3 tablespoons because we don't have a lot of rice. You could add a little bit more depending on the rice. Now also, let's talk about the wooden spoon. This is the perfect risotto spoon because it's got the hole. So as you stir, it kind of creams it later on when you're adding the cheese and the butter. So that's the right, if you don't have it, it's okay. If you do, that's what it's used for. So let's saute the onion. You don't want to burn it. So just gently give it a stir. Now I'm going to use the bottom pieces of the asparagus, not the tips. Keep the heat on medium high. Because don't forget, now the asparagus will release some water, so it needs the higher heat to start browning and caramelizing. See, the onions are all nicely caramelized. So now it's time to add the rice in to get it nice and toasted. So this is what we're gonna do. Get the rice, I'm gonna stir it and let it toast a little bit, and then we'll deglaze it with the wine. Lo sfumiamo. If you don't want to use wine, just use a little bit of water. Use your broth already. So go straight to the broth, but I will be using white wine. The rice is nicely toasted. We add the wine. Let the wine evaporate. And now we start, once the wine evaporates, we're going to be adding 1 ladle at a time of the vegetable broth. So this is what you do. So now for the next 15-20 minutes, you're going to be by the stove. So you take the first ladle, add it. Okay, make sure your flame is on medium high. There you go. And you're going to stir. And you're going to do this until it gets evaporated. And then you're going to be adding more. Standing here, so I might as well break the cheese and get that done. So you keep busy, so it goes quick. See, as it evaporates, you see the starchiness of the rice. I'm using Arborio rice. Any of the Italian starchy rice works great. So I'm going to keep adding the vegetable broth in. The risotto is almost ready. So what I'm going to do now is add about half a teaspoon of the salt, because don't forget we added salt already in the broth. And now I'm going to add the top of the asparagus, the tips. Okay, and then what that does, they cook fairly quickly, and also like that they'll stay a vibrant green color. Final step, the tablespoon of butter. Come closer. I love this part where the risotto comes together. Higher the flame a little bit and let it just cream together. This process is called mantecare. Keep stirring. Very important. Now let's add the Parmigiano, not all of it, because I'll leave some for the top. Okay, just add it and continue stirring. A little trick to serve it. Okay, so I'm using a little round bowl. What I'm going to do is fill it up with the risotto. Okay, just press it down gently. Pull around, make sure that it's filled at the bottom. Okay, and just a little bit more on top. Okay, like this. Perfect. And now what you're going to do is you're going to flip it upside down in the plate, release, and there you go. Ecco qua. Perché anche l'occhio vuole la sua parte. If something looks pretty, it's going to taste even better, even before you taste it. Little sprinkle of cheese on it. Okay, now it's time to taste it. Delicious. Absolutely insanely delicious. Such simple meals. In 40 minutes maybe, you know, if you have everything ready, got the broth on, and then right away you do it. It's just really, sometimes it's easier than getting takeout, and simple, in season, delicious meals. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Alla prossima. Arrivederci. Ciao ciao.